Hearties, we're back again. I am Cammie, the Hooked Hearty.
And I am Sarah, the Hawkeye Party, and
Oh,
we're
right.
here to.
I forgot.
You got to do your hand motions.
I'm sorry.
Doesn't work.
I know.
Oh, Hearties, we are here to talk about the latest issue. I don't know where my brain is. The latest episode of When Calls the Heart.
Season 10, episode 10, all dressed up.
Oh my goodness.
We talk?
Costumes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the costumes were impeccable. I fancied myself up a little tonight and wore a scarf. My husband gave me this for Christmas when I first got into the show long time ago. And so I thought this would be a fun time to pull it out.
Lovely.
I'm all dressed up.
You are all dressed up. I mean, this really compared to the elegance of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we really haven't seen outfits like this. I don't think really since then. I mean, every once in a while a dress here and there, but
well, and weddings.
So many, but even at weddings, like not this level.
No,
not this level or this many
level.
people. Usually it'd be like the people in the wedding party were dressed fancy and everyone else is still nicely dressed for a frontier town.
Right.
And this was, I mean, I'm sitting here going, where did all these guys get these tuxes? Like at the last minute.
Leftovers from Dottie's.
Sure.
Let's go there. I have no idea.
I mean, I liked that they mentioned that Joseph's was from his father-in-law.
Yes.
But I'm like, why do you have it?
He borrowed it for the wedding,
I guess, and just kept it forever.
And luckily he's the same size that he was when he got married.
Right? That and as her father. So
yeah, who knows?
Stay consistently sized and you're fine. Yeah.
We don't have to wonder about how it was provided for the women. You know, we're good on that.
Well, no. Every single thing came from Rosemary. And the entire town.
Well, and Elizabeth probably sprinkled a few in there.
A couple. Yes.
Okay. So the gown that Florence borrowed, I am almost 100% certain. I was going to look it up, but I didn't have a chance, and I'm so mad. But I am almost 100% certain that was Rosemary's matron of honor gown at Clara's wedding.
I would be really close to certain with you.
Okay.
it definitely looked like it had that look to it. Yes.
I'm almost certain that was Rosemary's gown from Clara's wedding. It has to be. It just that's the place where I remember it. So yeah. And I wouldn't be the Hooked Hearty if I didn't remember details like that. So
yeah.
All right, one more thing that I have to say about the whole ensembles of the hair and makeup and wardrobe. Yes. Okay. Confession. When they were doing Faith's hair, I was going, what? Why? It's stringy and not that curly, and there are so many things that they could do with it. Why? And then I saw her at the party and they went full 20s with her.
With the head. Yeah, with the headband.
Never mind.
Oh my gosh, I loved her look. I did like a double take when I first saw her because it isn't a look we've seen on the show.
No, so
even knowing that they're in the 20s and that they're moving towards that, it was such a dramatic departure from the usual look and from her usual look. And I just loved it, especially for an event like this where it's like, let your hair down, be a little bit you know, more modern, and yeah, I thought that was lovely.
Yeah. I stand corrected.
Yeah. So
Never
pretty. So pretty.
I will stand by, and I know that this was probably the style, but it drives me crazy. The bangs down to here on May. I'm like,
Yeah.
how
I'm personally not a fan of that look. No, but I mean she still looked lovely, and
she looked lovely. It just bugged me that she couldn't see, you know.
I know, I wish they'd been a little higher.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a huge fan of bangs anyway, but
yeah. But
just personally, they look awful. They look awful on me. So
duly noted.
A bad look on me. But I did love how it made such a drastic change in her appearance that it really fit the storyline. It was, you know, her making a drastic change to kind of catch somebody's eye, and her actually catching multiple people's eyes. It really was a fitting. I mean, it's what somebody I can just picture, like, I hate saying high school girls, but like high school girls or college girls, like when there's this guy you like, and let's just give her a little makeover, and let's, you know, before the big dance. Like, I mean, it was so cute. I love that
as old as time.
I love these girls' friendship. That really has been just a highlight this year.
I also really like that Faith and Fiona didn't care that May wanted to go with Mike, you know, because they said, why don't we just go as a group? And then immediately, unless, you know, they honestly didn't care. And I just went,
that's true friendship. That's true friendship, not
it is
being like, well, how does that affect me? I want to go with my friends.
Right.
You know, like they want what's best for her.
And it went away from what I was fearing. I was afraid of it becoming the Bitter Woman's Club, and it's not. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy that it's not. So one thing about that, when I saw the promo photo of Hickam
behind
the desk with the bouquet of roses, I thought they were for Faith.
Oh,
because that's where we kind of were in the storyline when I saw them, is he was hitting on Faith. And so I went, I'm seeing this scene in a whole new light now. It's
so strange. Just
yeah, we've kind of been doing a lot of zigzagging. I'm telling you.
I kind of feel like it's just for fun to like show us all the different possibilities there could be.
I'm telling you.
You need like a safecracker to like figure out the combination.
Mike's going right behind Nathan on his Mountie rounds. Yeah,
I'm telling you. When you throw in how many jobs he has, it really just
why not?
Why not?
Okay, so
different job for each day of the week, different lady.
hold it now. Mike's not a player. Don't go there.
Well, not going back and forth, just figuring out, you know, really taking interest in each one briefly to decide if that's the right one. Like he's really taking this seriously. He's really doing his research. We need somebody to actually hook up and have a solid relationship here. Like this is just weird.
That would be really nice. Please. Yes, let's do that.
Just one solid relationship would be good right now.
So speaking of Mike moving around, at least he's getting support. I mean, I was very, very impressed with Lucas. Mike, have you talked to May? I'm like,
yes,
Lucas being a good friend. And then Lucas pulls out the roses that are a decoration for the day.
For his own business. I love that.
Yeah. Pulls them out, hands them to him, and says, "Okay, Go for it.
Yeah. No, I loved that scene.
And
it was too bad how it ended, but
yeah. To be fair to poor Mike, I have the quote right here. Usually when I'm sweet on someone, she'd rather be friends. I mean, that's kind of the vibe that he keeps getting until
every time. Yeah.
So May's the first one to not just want to be friends with him. So I'll give the guy that,
Yeah.
So what did you think about the whole Harry idea of him?
I mean,
I thought he was too young for her.
I did think he was a little too young for her. I think I feel like it's the only person they could throw in there to do that. So it's just kind of like, here we've got this guy.
I mean, who else are they going to have ask her?
Sort of the right age bracket, and it's the only person that we're not doing something else with. Otherwise, it could have just been a completely random character, which I think also would have been fine to just throw a random person who we've never seen before and will never see again. I think that would have also been fine. But in a way, just the way that people go into black holes, it was kind of nice that it's a person we've heard of. There's a little bit of backstory. It just makes it more real.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want his heart to get broken either. This dude's had a tough life.
Very tough. But it doesn't sound like he's fallen yet. It just looks like he was looking for a date.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. And hope that we're right.
And I don't think he seemed super broken up. Did he notice? I can't remember. Did he notice when?
Didn't. His back was turned. It was Faith and Fiona.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't notice. We'll see if anything tragic happens there. Another tragedy.
Wow. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I've even had awkward moments like that in my life where people are like, do the dance switcheroo to try to get people together. And it's like, that can end up super awkward. So I'm glad that it didn't kind of go in that direction.
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture how it went later, but
yeah,
we won't go there.
We might find out next episode. We'll see.
Maybe
might get some follow-up.
I'm afraid, but I'm afraid.
On the other hand, there's going to be a lot of drama in other areas of the show, and it is somewhat common in Hope Valley to have like some comic relief and fun happiness over here when there's drama over here. So I'm hopeful maybe we'll have some happiness over here while we're dealing with that.
We'll cross our fingers.
I mean, we've got 2 episodes. We've got 2 episodes left here. And unfortunately,
seems like it was so long ago, and yet it seems like it's gone so fast as well.
Yeah, historically speaking, the episode before the last episode is the more dramatic one. And then the finales have been dramatic, but have had ties. Like there's some resolution, typically. Even if there's an element of a cliffhanger, very few seasons have actually left a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah, most of the issues get resolved.
Or get resolved partially, so that you're not left wondering about everything, which I'm hopeful for. And not necessarily banking on.
All right, question of the day.
Hit me.
Because you mentioned the black hole. Is Madeline gone for good? In your opinion, of course.
In my opinion, we're probably not seeing her again this season. We might hear from her. He might get a letter or talk to her on the phone or mention having talked to her or something like that. I don't know that we'll see the actress again this season. I would like to have a little more tied up with that. But I think we've hit a point where it could go on without having more resolution.
Mm-hmm.
We've had enough resolution to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
With the drama of the land and all those kinds of things. So in that aspect, it very well could be enough. I'd really like to see her for either more resolution or to have her, move to Hope Valley with Jamie. I think I really liked what Bill said to her.
Which part?
About having more going for her than she thought.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very poignant and very, very Hope Valley. Like
very, very Hope Valley.
Like, yeah,
and
this
saying you can start over in Hope Valley.
Like, it's a great place to do that, and there's space to do that, and you've shown that you're a good person, yada yada. But also just the whole, like, that's what we do here. Like, there's not a single person in this town that would hold that against you.
I was about to say, there's nobody with finding out her circumstance. No one is going to hold that against her. No one is going to judge her for that.
No, even if things continue to get worse with Montague, like, they would still, everyone would totally take her in and embrace her and not have an issue. I mean, if they can take in Henry, like, they'll be fine with Madeline.
You said it.
I mean, who would have seen that coming back in season 4?
Nobody.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
Never would have seen that coming to this level.
No, not a chance. One thing I do want to say about Madeline. So when she showed up to give the deed back, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but if they did, I really love it. Her clothing, it was still stylish and a little more high society, but compared to how she arrived in Hope Valley, it was very humble.
Subdued.
It was very subdued and humble dressing for her, as opposed to when she arrived in all of this fine, summery elegance and the parasol and all and the fine hats. And this looked a lot more practical. The clothing, it was still nicer, it was still Philadelphia-esque, but it was a lot more practical than what she arrived in, I thought. And I think it showed her change of attitude.
Well, and not only that, I think she was playing a part when she came before.
100%.
And this is probably more her.
Mm-hmm. So my thought, well, I have two, actually. I have one pro and one con. So because Jamie loved Hope Valley so much, and they made such a big deal about him loving it so much, that leads me to believe maybe they'll show up again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll happen this season.
Right.
But, I would like to see them become a comfortable part of the town, if not for anything else than Jamie's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah. The con is what I said at the beginning of the season. The whole attraction with Molly thing has been kind of shelved when Madeline showed up. And so I'm wondering if this was just kind of a distraction. And now she's gone. He's had that experience with her. And now will he realize he's better off with a homegrown romance, if you will?
Well, I mean, Molly made a comment. Was it to Florence near the beginning of the season? Or maybe to Faith.
It was to Faith.
About them just, like, how close they are as friends and just that they're better that way. So, and I haven't seen anything from
she
her.
didn't exactly say that. She said that she was happy with her life. But
well, there was a comment about Bill too. There was a comment.
Yes, but she didn't exactly say that, there was never going to be anything there, and she has talked about holding a candle for a very long time, longevity, all of that good stuff.
That was all last season.
So I'm just saying, it's very possible. With
plans do seem to change year to year occasionally on this show. So
yes. And with all the callbacks, happening, why can't this be one?
So here's a question.
Okay.
Do we think we will see Rosaline again?
Oh, probably not. Yeah, I think that she's gone to nursing school and she's done. I wouldn't mind seeing Gabe.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Oh, I want Gabe to come back so badly to Hope Valley.
That would be a good one.
That would be a very, very cool flashback, or no, not flashback, but callback.
Not flashback, but yeah, just fun to see what Gabe is up to. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we go to the ball?
Yes, please.
May I? Somebody else was looking rather dapper in his suit. Somebody that you and I have become pretty good pals with lately.
Okay. I gotta say, why do we have to always love the guys that we have to hate?
So annoying.
It's so hard.
Mark, you're such an awesome person. We don't want to hate you on the screen.
But oh man, did you do a fabulous job playing such a two-faced weasel.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, there's not really another way to put it.
No, there is not.
So I have got to say that probably the biggest, it's so strange that I would think this way, but the most telling line in that entire thing, I'm sure that there were more dramatic things said off camera, but on camera, the most telling thing that he himself said, that the governor said, was, "Please call me Bix."
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, number one, terrible nickname. But
he didn't have a lot to work with. That name.
I mean, what else are you going to call him? Bugs?
Right? Yeah. It's like, okay. But what you got.
But that one line right there meant inner circle. Lucas was in.
Yeah.
And he was expecting Lucas to go along with all that deception. And the probably one of the things that I love the most about how two-faced he was that with Bill and Elizabeth in the room, he was spinning a greater good story.
Because he knew they wouldn't be on his side.
Right. And yeah, I've got it right here. Hundreds, thousands are coming to Union City looking for a brighter future. I have to consider their needs too. So he's doing the whole,
he's appealing to them,
of my constituents.
He's appealing to them while also trying to paint himself in the best light. I'm not a bad guy.
No, I'm a good leader, and I must
help as many people as I can, and I will have to make difficult decisions.
And because I'm making difficult decisions, I must invoke eminent domain. Yeah,
he's also so calculated. Like he knew exactly, like he already had the plan. Like if this happens, and then one, like he didn't know that they didn't have the land anymore, and he just
was not shaken.
No, he was not shaken. He didn't skip a beat. He knew exactly what to do, exactly what to say. And even when he was doing that, I think he already had the plan of trying to turn Lucas in private. I think that they'd already kind of identified him as a potential ally.
They wanted a meeting.
Yeah. I mean, the other aspect of this that was really interesting to me was kind of the parallel with, I don't want to get too deep here, but like the parallel with how media is today with politics and different things. And like, it was so interesting to see this, where this is this big politician for the time, right?
Huge. You couldn't get any bigger than the governor of the territory.
And this is in a time when radio is just starting, and that's like the only media that exists. So like beyond newspapers, like
newspapers count as media.
You can control newspapers.
Yeah.
As a politician. I mean, I don't want to get political with the conversation, but like
it's possible.
It's possible. You could, he could, and he probably had experience buying people out, having some bribery going on.
Yeah.
And like this, you got to kill that story. That's not going to run. Those kinds of things are more easily done with newsprint.
Yeah.
Than a live broadcast. And this is his first ever live broadcast. This is the first time he, as a major political figure, a well-known person
on the radio.
And this has never happened before. I mean, that is how new. And I just find it so interesting that you're seeing kind of this change of the times happening in this episode. And therefore, he never saw that coming, because this is a threat that hasn't happened before.
Right.
It's a brand new world. And seeing that, like, and it just makes me think of all the things that happen nowadays where you're just like, anything could happen at any random time and somebody could just film it and live stream it to the internet. And then everybody knows, and there's no covering that up. Once it's out there, and people have it. Even if you delete it, somebody saved it, somebody's got screenshots. There's like, you can't hide things anymore.
Yeah, no, that's really true. And
so interesting.
Yeah. And you bring up a really, really good point. This is what I messaged to Mark when I watched the episode. I expected the governor to yell or scream, calling Lucas a liar, or doing the nervous laugh of, don't listen to him, folks. But you really downplayed the reaction, and it pulled off a great less is more effect. He was just defeated, and he knew there was nothing he could do or say. And then he put exactly. But putting that in the context of your comment, he had never done this before. He didn't know how to cover it up because it had never happened. I didn't even
None of them knew
that part.
And even his advisors that are there with him that probably have covered up a lot of stuff.
They don't know.
Everybody's just like, we got to get out of here, and we need to get in a room and plan. We need to figure out, they need to work on their PR here. Like, because this is a brand new threat.
Yeah. And can we talk about how alive somebody became with that new threat? Holy moly. I've never seen him that animated. And it was a really, really good campaign, if you will, pardon the pun, but it was a really good campaign for him becoming a candidate for governor.
Which I do want to say 100%, I don't believe that was ever his intention in this scene.
No.
Like, I don't I don't in any way think he has an inkling of doing that.
No, he thought he was going to get thrown in jail for slander. You know,
this is the hard thing with this storyline.
Okay.
Is they honestly simultaneously, for me, and I would imagine for a lot of, well, I mean, I already knew he was a good guy, but they really like threw the hammer down on how noble and brave and righteous of a character Lucas is. And let's be honest, a lot of people out there didn't think that for a long time. Who knows?
He was shady.
Where it was at for, but there was lots of questions for a long time about that.
Yeah.
I feel like this like cemented what a righteous person he is.
Yeah.
And, really, if you didn't like this guy, come on, you have to at least like the guy. You have to go, this is a really good guy who is making
who's doing a lot of stuff.
He's making a humongous difference in so many lives in this town, for people that he cares about, for a town that he finally feels like is his home, that for people that he finally feels like he has a family, that like you just like. And at the same time, my heart is simultaneously breaking for him because of knowing what that could mean for his future.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I gotta say, devil's advocate, my personal opinion, I know there's people that won't agree with this. My personal opinion, that's fabulous writing. To be like, simultaneously, here's the best guy on the planet.
What's gonna happen?
This could ruin everything.
Right.
Like, to be able to do that at the same time,
that's pretty good writing.
In one scene, I just like, whether I agree or disagree with where it's going, I am amazed at the way that story can be told in that fashion.
Yeah. I mean, he was willing to go to jail if it meant saving Hope Valley.
Yeah.
And then the icing on the cake was saving Buxton and Jameson, were the next two stops.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just
love him. I do just love him. I'm not saying it has to go one way or another, but like, I do love this character now even more.
So, are you gonna kill me if we switch gears and
go for it?
Talk about the other one?
I'm honestly at the point where I don't know that I have like gut feelings of what I want to happen anymore. I'm sad that I'm gonna be sad for somebody again. It's just the triangle. Like, just stop the triangle. It's like I don't even care anymore who it is. I just want it to be over so I can be happy for somebody.
I am back at that point myself. I am watching it because this is the way I was all of season 6. All of season 6. I had no opinion.
Same. Season 6 and 7. I didn't care at all.
7 is where it happened for me. I became Team Nathan in the middle of season 7. That's where it happened. And so now I am back at the point where I'm just watching. I'm just like, okay.
Well, and I don't want to say that I'm like hands off. Like, it's not that I have nothing invested. I just
have no clue, so I'm just watching.
I don't have a clue, so I don't know where to be invested. Like, I'll start to go, oh, and I'll go, but oh. I really, really want people to understand I'm not team one or team the other.
Right.
Really, in any way. But I see amazing things with both. And so it does, I think that's even more why I have the issue with it, is because I don't want it to be a him versus him, because they're both
again
they're both one again, or originally, like they're both wonderful. And now that we've seen them both for so much longer, like in season 6, like we didn't really know them that well.
Nope.
In season 7, we were still really like, I feel like it wasn't really till season 8 that we really got to know the characters.
That's when we really dove in.
And then I feel like in season 9, we just got to know them on a much deeper level because we weren't worried about the triangle.
I would agree with that.
That we were, and because they weren't at each other's odds or at odds with each other, that they were both more comfortable in the town because that wasn't the dynamic of vying for something, for someone. That they were just both then more at ease, and we got to really, really know them as men.
Yeah, and the two of them in relationship to each other have come so far.
And sweet.
Yeah,
sweet
I've got it right here at the very beginning of the episode. Lucas says, "You deserve it, my friend. You're a hero." When they hear that he's getting a medal.
Yeah.
Lucas just says it, and he called them his friend. "You deserve it, my friend. You're a hero." And then Nathan takes the compliment and then says, "Well, you're the one saving the town." Then Lucas goes right back with, "Just doing what I can, but I need all the help I can get." Nathan responds with, "Well, you got me." That conversation alone shows how far the two of them have come, you know?
Yeah. And so I think that's my struggle, is that they're both wonderful men, and we've known them now both for so long, and we've seen them both get through so many personal struggles with the triangle and outside of that. Like, we've really gotten to know both of them, and not even as a, like, I want this one to have Elizabeth, but just that I want them both happy. And I guess if you asked me, I would still be slightly more on Team Lucas, because that's so much more unhappy to like call off a wedding and
to call off an engagement and a wedding. Yes.
And like, he's like, and it's not even just her. It's like, he's going to be a dad, and he's like there's just so many aspects of it that I think break my heart a little more to see that end. If that's, you know, like for him, like if Elizabeth is not as in love with him as we thought, if there is other things going on in her feelings that we're not clearly aware of, like we have questions, but we're not like, this is exactly how she feels.
There are questions.
There are lots of questions. If that's true, then yes, obviously she shouldn't marry someone that she's not deeply in love with, that she has a lot in common with and wants to share the same life goals with. Obviously, that's true. Doesn't mean that that's going to be easy for either of them. But right now, honestly, I'm thinking of him. I'm like, he's been through a lot, and the last year has really finally seen him have a stable life,
settled.
And if that's not truly what he wants, then that's different. But that has really come across strongly as what he has said he wants, is that stability and normalcy and family.
Yep.
And so that makes me sad. On the other hand,
let's go to him.
On the other hand, there is some red surge over here.
Who looks really great in his dress uniform.
Don't they always?
I loved when he got up for his speech and he says, "Those of you who know me know I've always been frugal with my words." Immediately brought to mind dear old dad saying he always was economical with words.
Yeah.
So number one, I'm going to start before the ball. I found it very interesting that Lee and Nathan were the two that said, I gotta go get ready. It was Lucas who wanted to go and get ready. I would assume that he would care, not Lee, because he's married to Rosemary, so he knows he has to look good. But
yeah,
I mean, Nathan's just putting on his uniform. It's his dress uniform, yes, but he doesn't have to pick out the clothes, you know. So,
I mean, there is that element of like, at least you know what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why, but like White Christmas just popped into my head when he's like, you took all my suits to the cleaners. Like, this is what I'm like, he has no choice. This is what you're wearing.
Yeah, pretty much. So I did find that funny that he was one of the people. I'm glad he didn't drink on duty. But yeah, I found it very interesting that he was one of the two who was saying, I gotta go get ready, and panicked. And so, okay.
I took that, honestly, though, that was for me more of his nervousness with like his speech and
totally
and everything, and like realizing that I'm gonna kind of be in the public eye here. So even though I know what I'm wearing, like I have to look
oh yes,
like maybe I should spend a little more time getting ready.
I just found the entire situation hysterical that men are saying I gotta go get ready.
Yeah.
And then
but it's a ball. It's like yeah.
Yes. It is not
so different.
It is not a town social, it's a ball. So that, yes, I know high school guys who don't give a flying leap about homecoming dance, but prom, oh, they spend all day on their hair, you know. But then we go from the Queen of Hearts over to Elizabeth's house, where he sees her in that awful wedding dress, but it doesn't look awful to him. And
first of all, I think there is something about anybody any man seeing a woman in a wedding dress, like a woman that you have history with, especially. I just there's gonna be something that takes you aback, no matter what the dress looks like. Like especially if this is an unexpected sighting of the woman in a wedding dress. Like you're not expecting to see that. That is going to surprise you.
You would think they would expect, you would think that he would expect it after the whole visual of them walking in the street with the box.
Oh my gosh, that was so adorable.
That was adorable. But yes,
maybe. I found it funny that the guys didn't really seem to get what was going on. And I was like, really? It's really obvious.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Even Lucas was kind of like, what?
Well, to be fair, they were, they
were a ways away.
They were a little ways away by then. Because Hickam had to yell, like, hey, Lucas. So,
okay, so wedding dress. So
wedding dress.
You and I talked about this.
We did.
There is definitely an element to where her feelings in that scene could very much just be grief, because look at the parallels of what happened with her first wedding. Her first wedding dress was ruined, was burned right before her wedding. And she ended up having to wear a dress that was not what she picked out, it was still gorgeous, but it wasn't her dream. It wasn't what she picked and what she planned. And that's so huge for a bride.
And now the wrong dress has been sent.
And now you end up with the wrong dress. Like I would in that moment, especially if I was having grief over having lost my husband, and now I'm worried about another wedding, reminding me of my first wedding, and all of that emotional piece, I probably would say, is this a bad omen? Is this a bad sign? Like, how on earth, what are the odds that my wedding dress gets messed up again? Like, I would be very emotional, very upset.
And this is not the days of Amazon where you
just like overnight it.
No, you can't overnight it.
And it's a completely different dress. It's not like, oh, they sent one that's too big and we can alter it, or like, it's a completely different dress.
Is it terrible of me to say that I really want to see that mermaid gown? Yeah.
Oh,
sounds so pretty.
Yeah. And also, like, I want her to be happy. Like, there's something to be said for, like, oh, the dress doesn't matter, the location doesn't matter, it's all about the right guy. Like, yes, there's a lot to be said for that. Yes, especially like in season 5, and we were all like, yes, just marry Jack, for crying out loud, just marry him.
It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years, right? There's a lot to be said for that. And yes, at the end of the day, that's what matters, is that you're marrying the man that you love. Having said that, this poor woman has been through so much. She does deserve to have some things the way she would like them to be.
And that was one of the
only things she really
that she wanted to be refined,
to have her way. And this is where I was all, and I'm going to stick with it, because hashtag team elopement. Let's just get it going again. I guess it's not going to happen. I'm seeing that it's not going to happen, but I'm just like,
do I get to laugh in your face now, or shall I wait?
Whatever. But I mean, if you think about it, she doesn't want a big wedding.
No.
All she wanted was this dress, and now she doesn't even have this dress. And so I can absolutely see, if you're already kind of grief-stricken and dealing with all this, like, that could be the final straw to just be like, I don't even care anymore. I don't even want, maybe let's just not get married. Like, I mean, I could see that just being that gut instinct of like, I give up.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but now I'm talking about the eye lock. Yeah. Try to explain that one away.
I can't.
You can't.
Except that she already has this bizarre Jack Nathan brainwave thing.
True.
And whether that is deeper than she realizes is a whole other thing. But it could just be this bizarre, like, I see you are wearing the same clothes, and it like just triggers like it, like a PTSD kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying that it is, there's enough of a possibility that it is, that's where I don't know which way to go, and I can't fully invest in this as a possibility, because it could still just be this, and I'm trying to protect my heart.
Fooling us. It could still be fooling us. Yes. No, I agree with you.
It could still be a red 100%. It could still be a red surge herring. There you go. That's the title of this.
That's our title. That is our title. Is it a red surge herring?
I am so proud of that.
Should be.
I am so proud of that.
Okay, so
I'm just protecting my heart. I can't get invested.
100%.
That's why I keep playing devil's advocate. I'm sorry, Team Nathan. I'm not against him. I can't move on yet till it's time.
See, you and I are both doing the same thing. Neither one of us are getting our hearts invested because we don't know what's going on. But you're playing devil's advocate for Lucas. I'm playing devil's advocate for Nathan, to keep us both grounded.
We got to do it somehow.
Like, we got to do it somehow, and this seems the best way to do it, because I mean, there's got to be something that stirs you when those big blue eyes look at you in a wedding dress like that.
I'm not saying who I would pick here.
No, I know you're not. I'm merely talking about.
I'm probably Team Nathan for me.
Okay, let's move past the wedding dress and let's go to the speech then, because you cannot talk that one away. I know you can.
Oh, I'm not. Except for the fact that she's giving him advice based on Jack. She's giving him all of this information based on how Jack always behaved when he was getting medals. And it's the parallel is what gets me, because that personally makes me almost uncomfortable that he's doing exactly what Jack did. Like, that to me is almost like sacred ground. Like, if I was trying to impress a widow, I would not be trying to act like her dead husband. I feel like that's wrong. And not that he did it on purpose, but for me, it was awkward.
Well, at least he hasn't said, take a walk with me. Because
if they do that, I'm gonna. You hear Brian Bird? That's where I draw the line.
That is sacred ground right there.
Go do it.
But
now I'm scared that they'll do it, and I'll be like, no.
But okay, I have got to say it. I have got to say it. How she's the one that calmed him down.
Oh yeah. And I don't argue that at all.
And then when he went up there and he started out with the joke, frugal with my words, and then he still is uncomfortable until he finds Elizabeth's face. And the smile immediately reappears. She knows that he's looking straight at her, and her eyes don't break for a single moment.
Yeah, so that's the part. She didn't seem uncomfortable with that.
No.
Which in the past she would have been, I feel.
And that is very true. That is very true. And it's funny that you would talk about him acting like Jack, because I noticed two things in his speech that reminded me so much about Jack. Not necessarily the way I think he said it in a speech. I don't have all of his speeches memorized. Sorry, Hearties. Sorry.
Can't believe that. She's lying, Hearties. She has them all. She's just trying to downplay it.
But he said, it's strange to receive a medal for doing your job.
It sounds like exactly Jack's speech.
Jack constantly said, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. And then
the speech in front of the mayor's office when he got the medal, I'm telling you, I feel like it's really close.
Really close. Because he said the people of Hope Valley are special. And that's exactly what Nathan said. Hope Valley's people are special.
Yeah.
And I
don't mind there being callbacks. I want to be like, I don't mind making
I found that endearing
to Jack. I just found it to be almost a little much, to the point where if this is a red herring, to me that explains away. Like, here she's standing there and she's in her mind hearing Jax give a speech from your, and like maybe not even picturing Nathan. Like, I don't know. I just it was so similar.
I found that part endearing.
Yes, but in terms of like trying to analyze the triangle piece, I was like, wow, I just
No, I hear you. I do. I hear you. We're just like we said,
we're just
doing devil's advocate for Nathan. She's doing devil's advocate for Lucas. You know, that's what we're doing. so that neither one of us gets invested either way.
Yeah, I am so lost.
We no longer have a connection to Hope Valley.
We never really did. We just thought we did.
Oh, you're bad. Okay, so to finish up, first of all, I'm gonna go to the tough guy mode for just a second.
Yeah.
And how it sent a shiver down my spine, honestly. It was like, whoa. When Bill and Nathan,
Oh, yes.
I don't even have to finish my sentence.
No, when they stepped up to stop Montague
and push him back, I went, ooh, heroes of the town. It was great. It was great.
It was so cool because it was just like all the guys working together with their little plot to, oh, that was really cool.
And watching Lucas be that poker player that he's so good at being. Whoa. And like, I'll be your point person for a fee, of course. I went, oh, work 'em, Lucas. So that stirred me big time. Lucas's very stirring speech and how Bill and Nathan went up and pushed him back when he tried to stop Lucas. No, you're not stopping him. It was a beautiful moment. It was a very beautiful moment.
That was awesome. Yeah.
So the final moments of this episode, there's a lot of controversy. There is a lot of controversy. A lot of people.
Oh, goodness gracious.
A lot of people are saying that Lucas pushed her out of the way. That is not the way I saw it.
Yeah. I'm not playing devil's advocate here. I'm sorry. That's not devil's advocate here. No. If anything, she was pushed by other people and he looked around to make sure she was okay. I have heard the argument that he was trying to like pull her back in. I didn't really see it that way, but she seemed perfectly fine in the moment, maybe a little put off, but not mad or upset or hurt.
Well, and see, there were so many people around that I think he took a step back and accidentally bumped her because he stepped back. He didn't push her. He accidentally bumped her. So sorry, Team Nathan, I did not see it that way at all.
I did not see it that way.
No, he bumped her. He accidentally bumped her, and then he turned around and reached back for her, and she took the steps away to go and stand to the side.
That was exactly my impression.
There we go. And
I did think she looked uncomfortable about it.
Yeah.
But nothing negative.
I do think that maybe he could have tried a little harder to bring her back, but I'm not angry at him for it. No. Because he did reach out for her. She's the one who walked away. He could have grabbed her and said, no, come here. But he didn't. So that goes back to a few episodes ago when I say they were both wrong. They were both wrong here. So, I mean, you got to give the guy a little slack because this is all happening very fast. And all of a sudden, reporters are surrounding him, asking him about how he had the nerve to stand up to the governor and how he planned it and what have you. So, yeah, I'm cutting him a little slack because all of this is happening very fast. Now, could he have reached for her a little bit more? Yes, but she also walked away. And he did not push her. He did not push her.
And he's also in this moment, he's not thinking he needs to preserve a relationship. Like there's nothing on his mind. There is nothing in his mind that is wrong right now in their relationship. Absolutely zero in his mind. From his perspective, he does not know any of this other stuff that's been going on. And he doesn't know what's happening in the previews for next week yet. So, if only we all in our lives can see what's coming. I want to know what's coming tomorrow in my life so I can plan better. But
wouldn't that
he
be
doesn't
nice?
have that. He can't plan ahead. So he's trying to like create the narrative for these newspaper people of what needs to happen to prevent Balfour from being reelected. Like he's trying to still play the long game.
Yeah, he's carrying on to make sure that no stone is left unturned. You know, maybe there were people who
all of this was for naught.
Yeah.
If we can't follow
maybe
through,
people didn't turn on the radio last night, you know.
I mean, granted, you got to follow it up.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I really like that point that you made, that he has no idea that anything's wrong, which goes back to our whole communication thing. You know, it's just so much lack of communication, but that's a typical rom-com thing. You know, that's a romantic drama, and a romantic
would be
drama.
So much shorter. yeah. Without misunderstandings.
But with a rama drama or a rom-com, that's a completely typical thing, as a lack of communication. So, you know,
and unfortunately in our real lives.
You know what? It's so true. It's so sad, but it's so true. So
never on my part, but
no,
people are out there, I've heard.
Oh, completely. Yes. So next week, we are going to see the scene that has been very talked about in the schoolhouse. And I don't know how I feel about it yet, because I want to watch it in context. I want to watch the whole episode.
I feel like the teaser for this week was the wedding dress and her questioning it, and I felt like in context it was much less concerning than it seemed out of context. Context, it seemed very worrisome. And again, for devil's advocate for Lucas, but like if you're watching it in context, she doesn't nearly seem as worried or as upset, and doesn't say anything about Lucas or about being upset about Lucas or about not wanting to get married. She's upset about her dress being wrong. And so it, like, I mean, really that was what that scene was.
Yeah. And this one, it could be very deceiving.
There could be something deceiving about it.
Yes. However,
probably not.
I'm going to say probably not. I still want to watch it in the context of the entire episode.
Exactly.
But it's pretty clear that Nathan is very upset with this idea of her leaving, just like she was upset with the idea of him leaving. And this is going to be interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, before we close, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. We are filming this on Sarah's birthday. Happy birthday to Sarah. She's
cheers.
Cheers. Here we go.
Tea.
Whoa.
Tea cheers. Whoa. There somewhere.
Birthday toast. Your tea, my water. Well, Hearties, we would love to hear what you think. Just please keep it kind. But we do not mind opinions. Just keep them respectful. And we will see what happens next. That's all I can really say. We'll see what happens next.
To sum up this entire hour,
right.
We'll see. We don't really know. Yeah.
So have a great day, Hearties, and we'll see you next time for season 10, episode 11.
We're almost there.
Bye.
Bye, Hearties.